Welcome to Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae, the podcast where we empower and inspire you to achieve unstoppable confidence and self-belief. I'm your host, Kalia Janae, a wife, mom, entrepreneur, as well as a certified life coach and motivational speaker with a background in humanities and communication. I'm excited to navigate this transformative journey with you. In each episode, I'll bring you candid conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories from remarkable women who have conquered many challenges and risen to new heights. Get ready to have your crown straightened as we listen, learn, and laugh together so we can level up. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Crown Level Confidence. How have y'all been? I just love all the interactions that I see in the notes of the podcast episodes, especially if you listen on Spotify. And here's a quick plug for our Facebook group, Crown Level Confidence Between the Episodes. If you're not in that community, you are seriously missing out. And I'm here with a whole new fresh guest, okay? Everybody, please, wherever you are, give it up for Miss Kimberly Goodloe. Kimberly, welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
So happy to have you. Okay, so, this is a quick, fast-paced, conversation that we're having, very candid. Y'all know we do not spend a whole lot of time editing because, it's like we're in each other's living rooms. We're girlfriends just hanging out in between our busy everyday lives. So let me tell you really quickly about Miss Kimberly so you can fall in love with her just like I have. And then we're going to dive deep into this conversation and her message that she has to share with all of us. So Miss Kimberly is the heart advocate extraordinaire. No, I'm just kidding. But she's a wife, mother, daughter, sister, friend, a patient advocate, specifically heart, stroke, and lung cancer. We're going to dive into that. And heart valve disease survivor. Woo, she's committed to raising awareness and helping patients cope with their recovery process. That's a short statement with a whole lot of big power. Miss Kimberly, welcome again. So
thank you so much.
Just so y'all know, we have met virtually. We connected, I put the call out like, hey, if you have a powerful story, I want to help you tell it. And she said, boom, I'm there. I'm ready. I got something I need to share. And y'all, she sent me I am now MD in the American Heart Association. I'm kidding. The amount of information she sent me, I said, wow, okay, let me make my doctor's appointment. But no, this is very important. We know that as women, specifically, and women of color, we tend to not really prioritize our health, right? Unfortunately, we tend to say, oh, we're the caretaker, we're the caregiver, right? But we're not really giving too much attention to ourselves. And then all of a sudden we're the matriarch, and then something happens and we're out of commission, and now the family's scrambling, right? Like, how many times have we seen that? So Miss Kimberly, let's dive into this conversation. And so I want to know, because you kind of just put that, you kind of snuck in there that you were a survivor, but what led to you having to have open heart surgery and 3 pacemaker surgeries?
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Kimberly Goodloe, and I'm an ambassador for the American Heart Association and a 14-year heart valve disease survivor. In 2009, I developed shortness of breath. A heart catheterization test was ordered, and we were notified that my aortic valve needed to be replaced. Not repaired, but replaced.
Wow, that sounds so
I
scary.
received a mechanical valve in my heart in 2009. 4 days later, I developed permanent blockage in ICU unit, and the doctors informed us that I would need a pacemaker. I am a 14-year heart valve disease survivor. I share my story of healing throughout the community, encouraging patients to keep moving forward despite whatever they may face on a daily basis, to keep moving forward. Wake up every morning with a positive mindset. I have turned my pain into purpose.
Wow, that is amazing. Like we had a studio audience, they'd be cheering and roaring and clapping and stomping. Okay, Miss Kimberly, that is so powerful. Y'all, I don't know if you just heard what she said, but we have a whole miracle in the conversation with us.
Yes.
That is a blessing.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So
Okay,
the lower part of my heart no longer functions, only the upper chamber. So after the open heart procedure, which took place on February 12th, 2009, 4 days later, I received a pacemaker due to irreversible blockage in my heart. And it happened in the ICU unit. So the upper part of my heart functions. The lower, I need the pacemaker to help my heart function on a daily basis. The lower part no longer functions, just the upper part. So it's through God's grace and His mercy that He touched my heart. And I'm here to share it with you.
Wow. I know I say wow a lot, but wow. That's the best word to use. Okay, so you said something, a communication specialist, a word nerd, however you want to put it. I love it when things kind of rhyme or they sound a certain way. And you said you changed your pain into purpose. What is your true purpose and your passion behind what you're doing?
Yes, I turned my pain from receiving a mechanical valve in my heart and a pacemaker. I turned that pain, the pain that I experienced the 11 days I was in the hospital, I turned that pain. I asked God for help. He has given me the strength and courage to use heart health as a platform to encourage every patient to get up, show up every morning, despite how you may feel. Wake up with a positive mindset and be ready to face whatever may come your way. I know God is with me each and every day. He was with me during those 4 surgical procedures. I give Him all the glory, all the honor, and praise. And I will continue to encourage every patient to keep moving forward. Please do not give up. Hold on to your dreams and just keep praying, keep hoping, and keep believing.
Wow. Well, that's that. Well, it's time for the offering. No, I'm kidding. No, but really, Miss Kimberly, that's so amazing for you to have that outlook. And of course, it's not easy. I've had several surgeries in my life, never any heart surgery. So I can't begin to know what that is. But I do know the process of recovery. I had experienced some severe complications after giving birth to my daughter last year. And that resulted in me being hospitalized for a short time before I could be released home. And then having to have physical therapy come to my home to show me how to walk around my own house again. I'm like, what? And it takes some determination. I'm a wife. I'm now a mom. I can't just be all, woe is me, and this hurts, and this sucks, and why me, God? Why did this happen? And, there's a whole spiral that you can go down. When you're already experiencing a painful setback, it can become emotional and bleed into the professional and all of these other repercussions. So good for you. Can you share with us a little bit of, what that looked like in terms of how you were able to make that commitment to be positive? Because, we're all human, right? It's very tempting to just kind of give in and say, well, you know what, this is what it is. And if God let me go through it, then there must be a reason. People like to blame God, right? Like, He's given me this, and okay, Lord, I'm just gonna suffer. No, right? What was it for you that said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get up, and yes, this is painful. Yes, it sucks, but other people need to hear about this so that they don't have to go through it. What was that moment for you like?
I thank God for placing in my heart to, despite the health obstacles that I face daily. It's been 14 years. I still deal with issues from 4 surgeries. But He has given me the strength within to get up and show up. I fight heart disease every day because I have a loving husband. We've been married 30 years. I have a beautiful son and daughter. And God has given me another chance at life. I do not take it for granted. I thank Him for it every day. So I pray to God. I rely on my strength my faith is the key to my recovery. God placed that strength within for me to say, Kim, you have a loving husband. You have a son and daughter that need you. You have family and friends, a whole community that they're counting on you to keep moving forward. That's where I get the strength from. God fills me with the strength every day. And I would also like to add, right before my open heart surgery, I created a support team for my family. I wanted my husband, my son and daughter, who were 6 and 9 at the time. So they were very young. I wanted them to be taken care of. I reached out to my church community, the school where my children attended, my neighbors, my wonderful neighbors, and my amazing friends. We created a schedule. I wanted to make sure that because I couldn't drive for a month after I returned home, I couldn't drive. So I needed support. And it was hard for me as a mom to reach out because I was always on the other side, but I reached out to everyone in the community and they stepped up. I thanked them. My heart is just overjoyed by the support that my family received while I was recovering from the open heart surgery. They brought food, they prayed for us. My son and daughter were taken to different activities throughout the communities because I couldn't drive. My husband received support. And God, I just thank God for, it does take a village. It took a whole village to help me get back on my feet. And that's why I give back to the community, because when I needed support, I received it. So that's why I am so passionate about walking in my purpose and advocating for heart health.
Wow. I heard so many different things while you were talking. And, for me, you had to be humble enough, and have courage at the same time. It sounds like you didn't necessarily have all these demands and high expectations of your community, but you were vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm going through XYZ. Like, I have heart disease, and my family needs this support, and you allowed other people to be there for you. And that is something that our community, or women of color, however you want to slice it, we are not good at that. We are the superwoman. We're going to be there for you, and don't worry about me, and that's just my family's business, and we handle it on our own, and we take it all on our backs. But we don't have to, right? Like, you're a shining example of someone who opened up their mouth, right? And opened up their heart. And I'm sure it was scary. I'm sure you probably had people thinking like, oh, you probably were thinking, and you can always correct me if I'm wrong, about what they were going to think, right? Like, how did you let this happen to you? And you didn't know, and you have kids and all these different things, but that didn't matter because you had a family that you knew you wanted to take care of. In my opinion, it's more selfish to hide your disease or hide your inabilities or your struggles, right? In the name of, I want to protect them, as opposed to just being open and saying, hey, we need this help because this is the situation. You don't have control over what you're going to go through, but you can have a hand in how you go through it, right?
Yes. And going back to what led to my open heart surgery, I was born with a birth defect. So for 42 years, I was never sick. So we were more in shock when we received the diagnosis. So once again, reaching out for help, which was challenging, reaching out, I became open. I let everyone know, and they stepped right in. And I'm happy to say, and they still continue to pray for me because I do have a 5th surgery coming up next year. So another pacemaker surgery. But being open to everyone, being honest, being vulnerable, it made a difference as part of my recovery, because it most definitely took a village to help Victor, AJ, and Mariah with this transition while I was away in the hospital for 11 days. And I thank God. For touching the hearts, for everyone for saying yes. Everyone said yes, and I'm forever grateful. Forever grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like you're in a great community. And I know that there, unfortunately, it may be a woman out there that says, well, that's her right? She had those people. I don't have those people. So if someone is feeling maybe happy for you, but maybe not as optimistic for themselves, what would you say? How would you encourage, that woman to either find a community that she could feel comfortable being a part of, or how could someone take those steps to start sowing those seeds before they need something, or even if they currently need something, but they feel like they can't see themselves having that sort of reaction from other people in their lives?
I would suggest for the individual to take a minute, take a step back, and to reevaluate the people in their lives, their circle of friends, really faithful friends. You don't need a big group. You just need a few faithful people to step up. And I think that would be the beginning point. I remember when I met a patient, and you brought up the example as well. I have a large support team. A lot of people, are not fortunate. So I suggested work with what you have, go within that circle, and build from there. Yeah, build from within that circle. You don't need a big group. You just need a few faithful people to step up and say, I will be there for you.
Wow. See, one small step at a time is how you build momentum with anything, right? So especially your community, your surroundings, your support group. So you are a heavily celebrated Heart Health American Heart Association National Heart Valve Ambassador.
Yes.
Tell us, if we haven't already covered it, or just reiterate why you made that decision to take on that responsibility.
After my open heart procedure, a good friend of mine asked me, Kim, what are your plans now? What do you plan to do with your second chance at life? And I thought about it. I prayed about it. And that's when I made a decision to turn my pain into purpose, to advocate for heart health, and to help patients maintain a positive outlook on life by being an ambassador for the American Heart Association. And I'm so grateful I made that decision.
Yes, absolutely. And it's great too, because a lot of people, and I think I've done this before, so I'll say, you can throw me in the group, but a lot of people will go through something and overcome that thing, and then just kind of move on. Right? We'll just kind of be like, oh, I'll file that back. I'll tuck it in. I learned my lesson, and that's good enough for me. Right? And I'm not saying that you need to tell all your business all the time. I think there's some kind of balance here, but I do believe, and this podcast is part of it, right? Where we go through different things. Whether or not we deserved to go through them is a whole other story, but we go through different things, and hopefully we learn from them. But we can use that to either help someone avoid a minefield of a situation that could destroy them, or help them pick up the pieces right after the bomb has gone off. Hopefully, and so it's great that you have stepped into this role, taken this responsibility and said, hey, I want to raise awareness. I want to be an inspiration to other people. I want to put myself out there, because it's very easy for you to say, okay, great. Woo, I'm recovered. I'm healed. I'm whole. Thank you. Thank you, God. And now let me just turn inward, right back to my family, and just live out my days comfortable on my couch, to see my kids grow up. But no, you have said, I'm going to continue to stay outside my comfort zone, right? I think I can say that you're willing to put yourself out there to say, hey, it's not about me, but it's about how God is using me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's
how He is using me to provide hope, encouragement, and to educate the community about taking care of your heart and making better choices. Yes.
That's powerful. So let me ask you this. Do you participate in like community events, or are there any upcoming or, things that we can expect to see about how to get more information about heart health?
Well, February 2024, it's around the corner, American Heart Month. I'm happy to announce that I will celebrate my 15th open heart anniversary the entire month. And far as the community events, if you could share my WordPress link, everyone can follow me regarding throughout the community what's taking place during the month of February.
Perfect. She couldn't have been a better plug. She did it better than I could. Yes. So if you're an active, avid listener of Crown Level Confidence podcast, you know I'm always going to make sure y'all have the information. So the information attached to this episode will definitely have the website where you can stay up to date with all of the heart health events and information. And then, of course, if you're in our Facebook group, hello, you can connect with Miss Kimberly directly, and then also see the information attached to the post for her website, and be able to connect and keep up with information at your own pace. No pun intended. All right, so Miss Kimberly, the time always goes by way too fast. We just get in these conversations and I just get so engrossed, but there is a special part of the podcast. This is always my favorite, and I feel like it's supposed to be the wrap up, and it sometimes ends up being to be continued. But this part that we're going into is called the final word, right? So we've covered so many different things in terms of the shock of a diagnosis to how you mentally navigate recovery and communicating your needs to your community and being able to kind of come together, right? But what is like the main thing, the key takeaway that you want another woman, like when she turns off her car and gets out and goes into the world after this podcast, where she takes that main thing away and says, I got it? What is that main message that you want to share?
The main message I would like to share with your audience: despite whatever you may face on a daily basis, hold on to your faith. Never let go of your dreams. Create a strong support team. Focus on your blessings. And never, never give up.
Wow. Yes, that pause was on purpose, y'all, because you needed to soak that in, okay? I had to give y'all a minute to really absorb that, okay? She said everything she said, and she punctuated it with never, ever, ever give up. Y'all, we have been so blessed by Miss Kimberly Goodloe. Thank you so much for reaching out and getting into the conversation, right? Making us aware that we need to be proactive in our health, right? Yeah. And how we show up not only for ourselves but for each other. And she said, take small steps, evaluate your circle. If you don't have the people around you that Miss Kimberly had, then you need to message her and ask her, how do I find faithful friends? That's an offline conversation that you can have for her journey. But I'm so thankful and appreciative that you stepped outside your comfort zone to speak with me and to encourage women worldwide to build their confidence. And I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you so much, Ms. Kimberly. Y'all stay tuned for some special announcements. And this has been Crown Level Confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into another empowering episode of Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found it both insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the show and share your journey of confidence and self-belief, please reach out to me at podcast@kaliajanae.com. I'm always eager to connect with remarkable individuals who have a story to tell. And for those interested in connecting with me for speaking engagements or mindset coaching, you can find more information on my website, kaliajanae.com. I'd love to hear from you and explore how we can work together to inspire and empower others. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode filled with actionable tips and heartfelt stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire even more people to straighten their crowns. Remember, your journey to unstoppable confidence is a continuous adventure. I'm happy to support you every step of the way. Keep believing in yourself, keep shining, and always wear your crown with pride. Until next time, this is Kalia Janae, your host, signing off. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep leveling up.